I met Mike during my final year in university. He was charming, always with a smile that could light up a room. We dated for 2 years before he proposed. The wedding was beautiful, filled with laughter and dancing. Little did I know, my life was about to change in ways I never imagined. Mike's behavior started changing soon after we got married. He became overly critical, finding fault in everything I did. "Why can't you cook like my mother?" he'd say, even though his mother's cooking was just average. He'd belittle me in front of friends, making jokes at my expense that weren't funny. But it was his temper that frightened me the most. One evening, I accidentally spilled water on his laptop. He exploded in rage, yelling and throwing things. I cowered in fear, never knowing what would set him off next. I confided in my friend Sarah about Mike's behavior. She urged me to stand up for myself, but it wasn't easy. Mike would apologize after each outburst, promising it wouldn't happen again. I wanted to believe him, to believe in the man I fell in love with. Months passed, and I found out I was pregnant. I hoped a baby would bring us closer together. Instead, Mike's jealousy grew. He accused me of flirting with male colleagues, even though I barely had time to rest, let alone flirt. One night, I woke up to find Mike going through my phone. He accused me of cheating, yelling so loudly that neighbors knocked on our door. I defended myself, tears streaming down my face as I begged him to stop. He stormed out, leaving me alone in the darkness. I didn't sleep that night. Fear gripped me as I realized the man I loved wasn't who I thought he was. Deep down, I knew I had to make a choice, for myself and for my unborn child. But how do you leave someone you once believed was your everything? The next morning, Mike acted as if nothing happened. He kissed my forehead before leaving for work, leaving me to ponder my future. As I sat there, the weight of his words and actions crushing me, I knew I had to find the strength to break free. But leaving would mean facing the unknown, a daunting prospect for a woman who once believed in fairy tales. I couldn't ignore the signs anymore. Mike's control over me grew stronger each day. He monitored my calls, questioned every outing with friends, and made me doubt my own sanity. Each apology was followed by another outburst, and I began to lose myself in the chaos of his manipulation. One afternoon, I visited my grandmother. She noticed the sadness in my eyes and gently asked what troubled me. For the first time, I poured out the truth about Mike, the fear, the humiliation, and the shattered dreams of our marriage. My grandmother listened in silence, her face grave. "You are in danger, my child," she said finally, her voice filled with concern. "A man who cannot see beyond himself will never change. You must protect yourself and your child." Her words echoed in my mind as I returned home. Mike was waiting, his smile a mask that barely hid his simmering anger. But this time, something inside me shifted. I no longer feared his wrath. Instead, a quiet resolve settled in my heart. That night, I packed a bag while Mike slept. I left a note on the kitchen counter, simple and direct. "I cannot stay. I deserve better." As I drove away, tears streaming down my face, a sense of liberation washed over me. The road ahead was uncertain, but I knew I had made the right choice. I would rebuild my life, piece by piece, free from the shadow of a man who never truly loved anyone but himself. And as I looked at the stars twinkling in the night sky, I whispered a prayer of gratitude. I had escaped the darkness, guided by the strength of those who loved me and the courage to believe in a new beginning. That night marked the beginning of my journey to reclaim myself. I stayed with Sarah initially, surrounded by friends who offered unwavering support. They helped me find a lawyer who specialized in domestic abuse cases. With their guidance, I filed for divorce and obtained a restraining order against Mike. The legal process was daunting, but each step forward filled me with a sense of empowerment I hadn't felt in years. Through counseling, I began to unravel the layers of manipulation Mike had woven around me. I learned about narcissistic personality disorder and realized that his behavior wasn't my fault, it was his. As time passed, I focused on healing. I attended support groups where survivors shared their stories, finding solace in knowing I wasn't alone. Slowly, I rebuilt my confidence and rediscovered my passions, painting, gardening, and spending time with loved ones who cherished me for who I was. There were moments of doubt and fear, especially when facing Mike in court. His attempts to manipulate and intimidate failed against the evidence of his abuse. With the support of my lawyer and witnesses who testified on my behalf, the divorce was finalized, granting me full custody of our child and ensuring my safety. Years later, I look back on that dark chapter of my life with clarity and gratitude. Leaving Mike was the hardest decision I ever made, but it saved my life. I now advocate for survivors of domestic abuse, sharing my story to raise awareness and empower others to seek help. Today, I stand tall, a testament to resilience and the strength found in breaking free from toxic relationships. My child grows in a home filled with love and peace, far removed from the turmoil we once endured. I've learned to trust again, to believe in fairy tales not of perfection, but of courage, healing, and the power of reclaiming one's life. As I watch the sunset paint the sky in hues of gold and crimson, I am grateful for the journey that led me here. I am no longer defined by the scars of my past, but by the hope and determination that guide my future, a future built on foundations of self-worth, independence, and the unwavering belief that I am worthy of love and respect. And as I tuck my child into bed each night, I whisper words of strength and love, knowing that together, we have found our happily ever after. If you or someone you know is facing similar challenges, remember this: you are stronger than you know, and there is hope beyond the darkness. Trust in your inner strength and the support of those who care about you. Seek help, whether it's from friends, family, or professional resources. You deserve to live a life free from fear and filled with love and respect. If this story resonates with you or if you've learned valuable lessons from it, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences and insights could offer support and encouragement to others who may be going through similar situations. Together, we can create a community of understanding and empowerment.